I've never really enjoyed directing Second City. I've done a lot of Second City shows, and I always used to break out in bumps the day before rehearsal would start. I wasn't really, as far as I'm concerned, ready. Because I started as a director to not be like Paul, which was a mistake. Because other than the temper tantrums, he was a great director. He really was. I was too nice. And I felt that my job was to help them make their ideas better and not come up with ideas of my own. I had the same problem when I went directed in Toronto. I hadn't learned yet. I've learned. But mostly by doing plays and musicals, not by doing Second City. The first person I hired was David Steinberg. And we turned out some very good shows. Then Bernie sent the entire cast to our New York place. We had a New York place still at that point. And we didn't have understudies yet. And we had a very makeshift touring company that I'd put together for Joyce Sloan to be able to book. And we held auditions. We ended up with a company that was not that great. And I had to impose my own will on it a lot more, which helped.
Yeah.
And then we went to New York. We still did some casting in New York and hired these three guys who were Borscht Belt comedians almost. And that's when Warren really started hating the show, by the way, and I didn't blame him. Paul came in a couple of times and directed them. He almost gave up.
It's a little sticky.
Yeah, it was sticky, jokey, and dumber, I should say. When we built the 1846 place, we turned 1842, which had been the original place and seated about 125 people, into Playwrights at Second City. We built the new place originally as Playwrights at Second City. We did 2 shows there. The first Jules Feiffer play, it was a review called The Explainers, and an improvised, Dell was in that, Paul Sand moved over from Second City to be in that, John Brent was in that, at any rate. And then our second show was a full-length, improvised, set in Chicago version of Three Penny Opera, Beggar's Opera, with Alan Arkin, who moved over from Second City to play McKeith. And Fred Kaz was the pianist. It was a jazz musical. It flopped. It was good, but audiences just didn't come. And at the same time, Second City was selling out 13 shows a week in the smaller space. So we moved Second City there and moved Playwrights at Second City to the smaller space where we did the Chicago premieres of The Zoo Story, Genet's The Maids, Beckett's The One-Man Show, Krapp's Last Tape, The Caretaker, which was my first directing job. And then my second was an original play by Bernie Solins called The Puppet, which was really a good play, but didn't do business, and we really couldn't afford to keep Playwrights going, so we closed the place down altogether. And then in '67, we moved to our current place.